okay, and hopefully all of this will work properly, and we'll be ready to go. Our we need now all we need are callers to our Skype lines, because all the people that are watching the video are seeing right now is the screen with all the names on it of all the people you see here who call this program. So now it's your turn to call. And I know you're out there because I can see your little lights lit up. Give us a call. The number, once again, in case you need the ID, is Gabnet Live. And also, here we go. First caller in. See, and he's been arrested. Damn it! You've been arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tony's calling. There's Tony with Kukla and Ollie. That picture will never change, will it, Tony?
No, I actually like them. I like them maybe not as much as Jim Henson, but I do enjoy them, though.
Really?
I actually do like them a little better, maybe, because I like how they fight with each other.
I hated Kukla, Fran, and
I know, Shecky told me. I still don't understand that.
I like Time for Beanie. Now,
all right.
Direct from Shanghai, if you see it, is girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
Let me see here. Let me see. Was she there? What happened to her? You know,
I don't see anything. Can you hear me?
do you have your camera on? Do you have your camera?
I'm assuming it's on.
It doesn't look like it's on.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes,
Where
absolutely.
do I go for camera?
Huh? I don't know.
Where do I go?
You're using your iPad, so I don't know what you do for camera. Anybody know with an iPad what you do for camera?
I think you can't do it.
Oh, you know something? You can't do it with an iPad. We can't see you with an iPad.
Can I do it with an iPhone?
No.
Okay, so you just
No.
have to. I can't. I can only talk to you.
Yeah, that's Skype.
Ah.
That's Skype for you. I
Yeah.
just remembered that. Yeah, because she was showing me
Okay.
beautiful pictures outside her window of her hotel room, and instead we have that ugly picture that I took of you last night where you made a funny face. So
I can describe it.
yeah, what is
It's
it?
pouring rain here.
It's pouring rain there. She got there and it was it's a monsoon basically.
It really is. I mean, they had to drive so slowly
Yeah.
from the airport to the hotel.
Yeah. Now, will everybody notice something about the wonderful world in which we live? She is calling from China, which at one time was almost inaccessible to us. And listen to the clarity of her phone call right now using Skype. It's like...
Is it clear?
It's perfectly clear, you know?
Okay.
And that's what's amazing. Just absolutely amazing.
But how come on the iPad they don't have the visual?
Because that's the way Microsoft has done it.
Oh.
I have no idea why.
And you're saying it's not on the iPhone either?
It's not on the iPhone either, no.
Okay.
Yeah, no. But the iPhone I could see you because FaceTime worked, but it didn't work as well as... I got to tell you, folks, Skype worked better than FaceTime from China. So, I'm surprised they're even letting you talk to us. Can you hear the show there?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
You can talk about the government, Alex.
What?
You can talk about the government. They can't do nothing to you.
I don't know if we can talk about the government or not, but I don't want to have to fly over.
Let's don't do that. We don't want to get her in trouble.
That's true.
Yeah, you don't want to bail me out of jail.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what probably would bother me more was the dollar they charge for the bullet when they shoot you in the back of the head.
Oh, that's that's mean.
Hey, girlfriend, I'm sorry it's raining over there. It has to suck because I'm sure you're looking for big adventures and all that. And when it rains, that really dampers,
What big
everything.
adventure? She's working.
Oh,
Well, not
It's
working yet. It
Easter.
doesn't really start. Tonight I help, and it actually starts tomorrow. But they have a gym that's open 24/7, and they have an indoor swimming pool. So since I can't go out, I may just relax.
Well, instead of swimming, just go out in the monsoon.
But that's true. There's an old temple not far from here. I may walk over to it.
An old temple? I mean, Jewish temple?
Nope,
Oh.
nope. An old Buddhist temple.
Old Buddhist temple. Oh, okay.
Well, I'm not sure if it's Buddhist. I'll find out.
Yeah. So, China is so far treating you okay. I guess the trip was okay.
Trip was terrible. It was packed.
Yeah.
And there were about a half a dozen, not babies, but infants, screaming, all sounding like cats. You know how babies sound like cats?
Yeah. Or is that just Asian babies?
No, it's all babies. And I was the only Caucasian on the entire air flight.
Now that's because you took a different air. When we took Air China,
Yeah.
it was good. It was really good.
It was great because it's subsidized by the government.
And they spoke both languages, and
yeah,
you know, and there was a variety of people there. But I guess this is the airline that all the poor Chinese people take, or something.
Everybody, and it was packed. And I'm just glad it's over.
But
I did sleep.
What amazed me, though, it's a 14-hour flight, right?
Almost 15 hours.
Almost 15 hours. And when you think of that...
And it took us almost 2 hours before we left. We sat in the terminal for almost 2 hours.
Oh, wow. So, that's terrible.
Anybody bringing, like, any animals aboard or anything like that?
Animals?
I'm just kidding. You know, like you think like India, where people bring their chickens and pigs and all that.
Very funny, Doug. Sorry I had to inflict Doug on you, girlfriend.
It's always a first.
Yeah, well, listen, since we don't have a picture on you and all that, I think we'll let you go. But keep listening.
No, I want to hear what people have to say, and I want to be able to add.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Then you can do that.
And at some point, I'll say I'm tired and I'm going to go to sleep, which I'm really not because it's 10:30 in the morning.
But here, it's 12.
It's early. You're trying to get rid of her, man. What a great husband you are there.
Yeah. Here now, here's something you have to remember if you're going to be a member of the Citizens Panel. Just repeat this phrase after me. Shut up, Doug.
Shut up, Doug. Shut up, Doug.
Whenever you feel that he's chiming in and it's inappropriate, just go, shut up, Doug.
But I can't raise my hand to talk. I just have to talk.
Yeah.
You don't have to raise your hand. Just say it.
Shut up, Doug.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just like that.
Yeah. Anyway, we have, how many people we got, Phil? Phil is the keeper of the people. 7 people, so we still can use 3 more here on the Citizens Panel. Mark Thorner, wasn't that an amazing show last night with Miranda?
The thing was, it was like I was so fascinated watching Miranda build the Lego things.
Yeah,
and it's like I forgot how much fun Lego is, you know. And I'm like, all of a sudden afterwards, not quite tired. I'm looking at Legos online.
Yeah, but you know, I can't. I'll tell you, I can't think of a more inanimate toy, okay, than Legos. I mean, it's something you put together, and it's something as a kid you have fun with because you stick together and you make little buildings or whatever. But these people have managed to turn that into a major franchise between the Lego Movie and Legoland, and now all these Lego things that Miranda buys she's like crazed over them. It's amazing what they've done with this whole Lego thing, and all these were to me when I was a kid were little blocks you stuck together, you know.
Yeah, if you're lucky, you had enough. Your parents had enough money to buy you an erector set or something.
Well, now I was the erector set kid.
Yeah,
I loved the erector set because that had screws and it had nuts and bolts, and you know, and then if you really could afford it, your parents got you one with a motor so you could make a Ferris wheel and do all kinds of things like that. And I thought that was the ultimate creative toy. But Lego has just managed to keep that going. Erector, do they even make erector sets anymore?
It's bought by Meccano, the company that Gilbert kind of ripped off. They now own the name and the property. So it's ironic how Gilbert at one point, I think, was the largest next to Lewis Marks. They were the biggest toy companies. They're gone.
Yeah,
Completely gone.
Gilbert was big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Gilbert had railroads, American Flyers, which were competing against
Lionel.
head with
Lionel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing how people forget that,
Do they still make Lionel trains? I guess
Yes.
they do.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I think Neil Young was the major shareholder. He still might be. But they're really expensive. I mean, not like, wow, like, how many zeros is that? I'm like, God, you must really love model railroading. I never got into that end of things.
I never could understand why anybody, they would build these whole. Well, maybe I do get it. I mean, I just would never do it myself. But these people build these little towns and the tunnels they go through and everything.
You know who's a big model railroader? Rod Stewart.
Really?
Yeah, he is.
Oh my God, his stuff is museum quality. You look at what he's built.
Yeah, he's had articles written about him.
I mean, he's written articles. I mean, but
Yeah.
with all the time he's had, he developed this love of model railroading.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
talk about, like, my
he'll do
railroad.
like this whole layout of a 1940s city, Alex,
Yeah.
that is so accurate. And you're looking at
So,
it. And you're like,
so
why
the
is this in a
question
museum?
is, do they do this railroading because they like the railroad, or because they like what they can build around the railroad?
It's got to be both. You have to look at the pictures, Alex. It's like, holy crap, this guy's serious. I mean, real serious.
Wow.
Hey, did you ever see the movie The Mighty Wind, where that guy had like a railroad, but it was like he had like a brothel and all that built into it? It was pretty
God.
funny. But
help
you're
me.
talking, Mark, you brought up like erector sets. I mean, I was thinking that too. It was like, cause I was like just really crazy with erector sets. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't become like an engineer and
I'm
architect.
surprised you didn't like me because of the word erector.
Well, there's other guys anyway, but I built a contraption for that too. But anyway, that's another story. But you remember Radio Shack had like they built like this box where you can like connect all these wires, and it's like supposedly you can like do like CB radios and connect with airplanes and stuff like that. And really, you never could. You turn a dial and you just hear like a bunch of vibration. You're thinking you're hearing like propellers from an airplane.
What the hell are you talking about?
Doug, can I ask you a question?
Ask.
Was,
It was a CB.
was
I guess I'm showing my age. No, Radio Shack used to sell this thing, sort of like it's just like this
Oh
box,
God!
springs,
Doug,
and
Doug.
these wires. What?
Stop for a minute. That was electroshock therapy. Did you use it?
Oh yeah, have you ever seen like Jack Nicholson and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? That was normal. Anyway, no, y'all don't remember that? It was on
Yeah,
that Radio
I
Shack.
remember Radio Shack selling all kinds of kits and things like that.
Yeah, I mean,
There
it
was a
kit. Yeah,
company.
it
There
a
was
kit.
shut up, Doug. There was a company which is probably the one you're thinking of called Heathkit. And
No, it
Heath,
wasn't Heathkit.
all right, Radio Shack's version of Heathkit.
Okay.
You
Radio
know.
version of
I don't
Heathkit.
remember. It's funny, Alex. Alex, maybe you would remember this. I remember that Heathkit was on the same block that Lafayette Radio was on 46th Street, I think.
Yeah.
They sold ham radios and
But no, but
stereos.
Lafayette had kits.
Yeah.
I also, but Heathkit was like, oh, you have to have a lot of money, and it was so much money for the kit, you just might as well go out and buy the thing built. That's what I remember of Heathkit.
Yeah, but
That Radio Shack sold was just like pretty much garbage, for kids who are probably like 10 years old to think that they're going to be able to talk to airplanes and rocket ships and stuff.
no, it was for people who were interested in somehow learning about electronics by building a radio rather than buying one already made. I mean, I remember that when I was a kid, they got me a kit where I built a box camera with a shutter and everything. I never took any pictures because by the time I was through with it, it had so many light holes in it that you couldn't shoot anything.
And I used to buy my stuff at a surplus on Canal Street called Ramco, which I think now is it's now the big tattoo collaborative. on Canal.
Really? I wouldn't know that.
Oh no,
because-
that's where I got the stuff to build my first amplifiers.
Yeah.
Were on Canal Street. I mean, literally a mimeograph of the instructions and 2 big bags of parts.
Well, I had a friend, Roy Trumbull, who was my best friend when I was a kid, and he was into electronics, and he used to buy Heath kits, is what he used to buy, and he used to put them together, and that's what taught him all about electronics, and he spent the rest of his years being in electronics, running transmitters for television stations and things like that. So these little toys that our friend Doug here is making fun of really created a lot of people's careers and a lot of people's
making fun of it at all.
interests.
I mean, it was part of my life. Matter of fact, I think even Heathkit had like a mini bike kit that you put together too.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Well, you can just suck the joy out of any discussion, Doug.
And Heathkit
Yes,
is
I
still
can.
around, believe it or not.
Are they really?
Yeah.
But they do now just training, electronics training.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
My girlfriend
no more
doesn't.
ham radios or anything like that.
Nah, they don't do the kits like that anymore. But it's weird because one time I actually physically looked up, are they still in existence? So they are.
Yeah. Well, girlfriend, you didn't have anything like that, did you?
I don't remember. I really wasn't into electronics when I was a kid.
But I mean, was there anything like that girls had that they built?
Never.
No.
It wasn't a girls' thing. Girls had to do girls' things.
Well, what were girls' things?
Barbies.
What were girls' things?
Yeah, I guess when I was a kid, it was dolls and doll houses.
Yeah.
You know, when I was, like 5, 6, 7. And then I got into sports.
Yeah.
So I never got back to, there was never like anything electronic.
No. Okay.
What sports?
Well, yeah. I wish Miranda was here because I'd like to know what she played with when she was a kid, because she became, she's a scientist, basically.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if she ever put any of these Heath kits together, what she cared about that because it had to be something that brought her to the kind of world she lives in now, which is kind of interesting.
Miranda might have been too young for the Heathkit craze.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd
Oh,
agree.
I'm sure she was, but
Yeah.
there may have been something else in there.
I can see her doing Centipede and some of the old vintage, games back then.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I guess you could
talk.
make video games.
There are people here who really have something to say, like Patrick, who shuts his mouth for a half hour at a time because he isn't ready to say something. You're always trying to say something.
No.
Be nice.
I mean,
Yeah.
oh,
Thank you, girlfriend. Anyway,
I may ban her from the program.
Thank you. No, I'm sure if you ask Miranda, she'll probably say she played those vintage games like Pac-Man, Centipede, Donkey Kong, and all that. That's all I'm saying.
Well, most kids did.
She ain't a kid. Well, she's a kid compared to me, but I'm just saying when. And go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Carry on.
No, you're not. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it again, and you will.
Oh, please. All right, I'll listen. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Anyway, we could use more people, by the way, tonight. We have 7. Is it?
Yeah, 7.
Phil. He's the official counter.
And if you get enough, you get rid of me.
Will you
anyway.
shut up, Doug? Because as few people as we have here, I'll hang up on you in a second, Doug. Believe me. Oh, wait a minute. Here she is. Here's Miranda. Hello, Miranda.
Hello.
You heard us talking about it. Were your ears on fire?
Prove me right.
What? I didn't hear you, Doug.
I said, prove me right.
No, I didn't hear what I'm trying to prove you right for.
Explain, Alex.
Well,
No, you explain.
You
Doug.
explain.
You don't.
it.
You don't go on Alex's show and tell me to prove you right when I didn't hear what you said. You repeat what you said. You don't tell the host to repeat what you said.
I'm sorry. I thought you came in because you heard what I was. I was saying that you probably watched not watched but played the Pac-Mans, the Centipede games and stuff like that growing up.
in the restaurants that had the little tabletop games, with the little, controllers and everything. Yeah, but not really. No, I was into computers.
Okay,
I-
see.
I'm partially right.
See, what we were talking about, Miranda, is, and it may have predated you, was a thing called Heath kits.
I'm well aware of them, and they did predate me.
They did predate you. But that, everybody I knew who went into electronics in that period of time, I know, bought Heath kits and built stuff with them because that gave them the education they needed in those days. By the time you started studying, I think, computers, there was already a market for that. And so you had a lot of outlets available to you. Am I right?
Basically, my real interest came when we had an Amiga 1000
what a great
computer.
What a great
in the
computer.
early 80s.
Yeah.
And I was so fascinated with it, with the things that I can do with it. I wanted to know how it worked. So I went into the garage, got my dad's tools, and took the thing apart.
I'll get to you in a second, Phil, but I wanted to say to her about the Amiga that was a computer a lot of people don't remember, a lot of people will never know existed, and
it's a
yet
shame.
was maybe the most advanced computer for its time.
Easily. So easily.
And the people who created that are the guys that went over and built the Macintosh and went to a lot of other companies because Amiga just, didn't survive.
Commodore massively mismanaged that product.
Oh, you think?
What-
Commodore in general, if you look at the history they could have ruled the world.
Somebody
Remember
said
the
that
Commodore PET?
well, basically they said that Commodore. I knew a writer. I won't say who he is. Who was a computer writer who hated Commodore, just hated them because he said it was really a stock scheme. And that the only people that were going to get rich off that company were the people that were running it, not the investors and not the people who buy stock in the company or whatever. But the Amiga was singularly a better computer than IBM's, better computer than anything at that time Apple was putting out. It was a great computer.
The sound and graphics processors that were in the 1000 were just light years ahead of anything else I had seen.
Well, it was the only computer that put out with an NTSC signal, which is a television signal.
Yep.
That's why the people at New Tech built the video toaster, and they could only make it work with the Amiga because the
Amiga 2000 was the first one that the video toaster worked with.
Yeah.
I was so sad we couldn't put it on our 1000.
I remember I used to have the one that was like the cheapest one.
The 500.
The 500.
That came out after the 1000, and they went for a lower entry point.
Yeah.
Some of my earliest computers had what they called a green screen, and you only could have 80 characters on a line, and they operated on CPM, which it was a Morrow. Do you remember George Morrow or Adam Osborne or any of those pioneers of the early computers?
Yeah.
Sure. Osborne, of course.
Osborne.
Adam
Yeah.
Osborne. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend that had an Osborne box.
Yeah, they were the first portable computer. It was like
Portable if you didn't mind getting a hernia.
Yeah. My joke is you can take a grand piano, put a handle on it, and say, "Hey, look, it's portable." That was the Osborne.
Pretty much, yeah.
But getting back to what I wanted to say earlier about computers and building them themselves, there used to be stores that you could go to, and I built 2 or 3 486 computers. I believe this is before Pentium, and I used them in my store. And you were able to buy a motherboard and the box and all of these other items, and then you assembled them yourself, and you had a working computer. They were pretty cool.
I'll tell you what's kind of amazing though. And I think Miranda will back me up on this, and I don't think this predates her. But at the point that IBM was putting out their computers, they only had a memory capacity of, I believe, 512 kilobytes.
I think so.
Am I right about that?
Sounds right.
All of a sudden they realized that, hey, we're going to have more memory for these things. But they never got rid of the 512 architecture. They found some way to fool the computer that it had more memory. Am I right about that?
Yeah, extended memory, expanded memory,
expanded memory,
all kinds of memory
and that went on.
managers and
That went
everything.
on
That's
for
what
me.
that involves.
Am I right? It went on for like about 10 years. So what everybody was buying was
more than that. It was clear past Windows 95. I mean, it was really up until Windows XP when everyone migrated over to an operating system that was based on the NT kernel rather than the previous
Not the Unix.
kernels,
But-
and moved out of 16-bit mode and into 32-bit mode natively.
Yeah. So what you were buying were machines that were 512 that then there was like
Actually, I think it was.
there was a
I don't even think it was 512. I think it may have been 256.
No, it was 512. I remember because I had a 512 machine.
Yeah, that I remember
Yeah.
it too that way.
I remember the first PC I bought, and I'd had an Atari before that, which was a better computer than most. And I got myself, my business manager, we bought, and I think we spent maybe $3,000 each for a IBM PC, and we were living large with 2 giant 5.5-inch floppy disk drives. Wow, were we living large? So it was. But I mean, you don't remember any of these, do you, girlfriend?
No, I don't. My first computer was an IBM,
Was it?
and that was in the late 80s.
And so it already had a hard drive in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it had those big floppy disks.
Oh, the big ones, the 5.5-inch paper
Yeah.
floppy disks. Yeah,
Then I went to Mac and never turned back.
yeah. Now, have you always what?
Was this from China?
Yeah, she's in China.
Oh, cool.
China.
Awesome.
You're talking to
Awesome.
China for free.
Cool talking in China. One thing I wanted to bring up real quick, and hopefully we can. I don't know how long this computer discussion will last, but I remember when I was in college and they had the like the TV people and stuff. The audio visual folks were the only ones that had the Amigas. Because that, and everybody else had the Macs or the PCs, but no layman had an Amiga. You had to be, and I think maybe that's where Amiga could have dropped the ball. Maybe they could have.
Amiga dropped the ball
survived
because
had
the
they-
company was badly run. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
The only thing that went wrong was
management.
Commodore's management of the company. The machine itself, all of them were just beautiful, beautiful machines.
Oh,
and the
yeah.
reason,
I do remember.
the reason why the audio visual guys were using them is exactly what I said before. The sound card that was baked into it and the video processing was like nothing else of the time. It was an amazing, amazing
What
machine.
it was, I think.
Did it
They
use a
store-bought.
reel-to-reel?
What?
Did it use a reel-to-reel recorder rather than floppy disks?
No.
No, the early Commodores
They
did.
had the 3.5-inch floppy disk, but they also had hard drives.
Yeah, because the
The
PET,
thing was that the Amiga was actually built, if I'm not mistaken, to actually be a game machine above and beyond anything. And somehow they just overbuilt it to a point where it was just a great video audio machine. And had that company been, say, more legitimate, I think the Amiga could have well become the standard, and IBM and Mac would have had to follow it. Instead, when it failed, the people over at Mac hired these guys to come over and help build the first Mac. Yes.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, it was built on the Motorola 6800 series of chips, which they ended up using in the Macintosh as well.
Yeah. So you have to thank you have the Amiga people to thank for that. Of course, they all got good jobs at Apple, and there are probably many of them still there to this day. But it's interesting, and I guess I have to thank Doug for starting it off by mentioning the kits at Radio Shack. But
Doug's good job, Doug.
Yeah, good job, Doug.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now shut up for the rest of the show.
Remember this, Doug. This will be the only time.
Shut up! I've hardly said anything. You're telling me to shut up.
Now, I wanted to ask you your obsession and your love of Legos. Explain it to me. I mean, and I'm not saying you shouldn't have a love for it, because I mean, after all, like Doug loves porn. There are people who love things.
My love of Legos came from my mom. When I was little, we used to always build things with Tinker Toys and Lincoln Logs and Legos, and it was something that we did together. Just always building. If we were going to go back east to see some of the family, she would always buy me either a set of Lincoln Logs or the Tinker Toys or Legos, and then we would build stuff together on the plane.
God, I'm glad you remember Tinker Toys.
Back when they were wooden.
Yes.
And you got splinters, when you played with them too much.
What did they go to? Did they go to plastic? Did they go?
Oh yeah, they went plastic.
Oh, that's terrible.
Remember that game Mousetrap? That was kind of like a fun game, and you kind of put together and then kind of like mechanical.
It's amazing how you just steer us off course.
Okay.
I never had Mousetrap.
Mousetrap was a game. We're talking about construction. We're talking about construction things.
You put Mousetrap to fucking together.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Jeez,
yeah.
Doug.
Oh, Doug.
Wait. Alex, open it up. Shut up, Doug.
I remember wanting the Mousetrap game, and I also never had that many Legos when I was a little kid. So I'll defend Doug on the Mousetrap thing. And as far as Legos,
how much assembly was required on the Mousetrap game?
Or how about Hot Wheels? Putting the wheel tracks together and the cars and all that. That was a great thing too.
You didn't make Hot Wheels. The only thing you did was put the tracks together.
Yeah, but you put turns in there, and then you had the thing little sponges that spit them out again. They get loose.
Everybody, all at once. 1, 2, 3. Shut up, Doug.
Shut up, Doug.
Okay, all right. Okay, I said my piece. I will be quiet.
Yeah, put your thing on mute.
I'm doing it right now.
Put it on mute. Yeah, good. Okay. No, what I was saying is, do we have toys like that today for kids? Because the great thing about those toys, whether it was the Erector set, the Tinker Toys, the Lincoln Logs, another very good example that you just brought up. Do we have anything like that for kids today? I mean, these
Legos.
And are kids crazy about Legos?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Lego store down at Downtown Disney, not too far away. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's always filled with kids, and I love going in there and actually seeing them get, so excited, both boys and girls, just looking at all of these things, and they bring their parents in, and it's children from all over the world. That's one of the very nice things about being that close to, in proximity with Disneyland. It's absolutely huge, and just the excitement on their face, it's amazing.
Patrick.
I was just gonna say, all the Lego stores that pop up in all the malls nowadays. I mean, it's filled with kids. My ex's kids had tubs and tubs and tubs of Lego sets that became just pieces, and it just. Yeah, I mean, Legos are the Lincoln Logs and Tinker Toys and Erector sets today, and I played with Legos when I was a kid. So, we at least have that for the kids.
You know what I remember? Who's?
Hello?
Boy, it's coming back. Hold on a second. Let me turn down the sound, bring it back up. There we go. Sometimes I find if I turn the audio down, it goes away. A slapback.
You got a touch of it now.
Yeah,
still.
Just a slight touch. When we were, remember this girlfriend, when we were at Pixar,
Yes.
Do you remember the Toy Story people like Woody and the space guy? What's his name?
Yeah, all Legos.
All made out of Legos. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were huge. They were bigger than people.
They were taller than us. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I have pictures of it somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Made all out of the Legos. You would have gone batshit over that, Miranda. And I don't know who assembled them. I imagine they did, or maybe the Lego people did it for Pixar.
I bet they did it.
They're too busy making movies.
And having fun.
Huh?
And having fun.
Oh, they
Remember
have
their offices?
Well, I mean, but that's you see what you're not used to is computer companies. A lot of computer companies. Am I right, Miranda? Try to be fun.
That's what they try.
Yeah, some of them are miserable, but they try to be they try to be fun, and the atmosphere that. Like, for instance, everybody who has a desk makes their own kind of cave there, to whatever they want. I remember one guy at I think it was at Pixar. Was it Lucas, who literally did his whole area like it was a battle zone with mosquito netting and guns and the whole deal. And
at Pixar, there was somebody that did their whole area kind of like on a tropical island with the palm trees. And
yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, and some people also, I think, had their own little house they built, and they would work inside their house. I know they do that down at Disney, some of them. So it's really it's part of the nature of the of these technology companies. And it was the one thing I always liked about them was the spirit of fun. Do you have a spirit of fun where you are, Miranda?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It makes you more productive, doesn't it?
I certainly think so. And just for any movie fans out there, my actual office is officially named the Pit of Despair.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well,
no, it's a good thing.
Well, but here's the thing that has happened. There are a lot of companies out there, non-technology companies, who really rule by pure misery. And just say, their attitude is, you're lucky you have a job. And I ain't going to name any names. But I've worked for a few in my time, and especially in the broadcasting business. They never got the message that work should be fun, that that everything you're doing should be playing.
That's true in a lot of industries, Alex.
I know, but most industries that is missed on. The people in Silicon Valley learned that early, that if they wanted people to do the kind of brain work that had to be done in those environments, they had to create they had to surround it with an element of fun.
You think that still exists today?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, it still exists. I think if you
Google, they're always talking about. You
So-
always hear about the stuff with Google, right?
yeah.
What about HP, where they're only talking about layoffs?
HP was never one of those. It was an early Silicon Valley company, and was not one of those mavericks with a bunch of kids. You know what I'm saying? By the time, what were you going to say, Tony?
I'm not finished. I don't want to interrupt you.
No, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Alex, could it be? I don't know nothing about it, but just like reading a little bit on jobs and that whole area of Silicon Valley, could it be that maybe like their age, where they grew up, more like the 60s, maybe they weren't so like from the 40s and 50s, like the whole button suit guys?
Well, I mean, the HP guys, and correct me on this, Miranda, if I'm wrong, but the HP guys were pretty much those button suit guys, right? I mean,
Nope.
the ones who started it, really? They were fun guys?
I have no clue.
Oh, you have no clue.
It wasn't the kind of guy like Moore's, the guy that invented Moore's law, Moore, and those kind of people that were the originators of technology that we know today.
Well, the originator. I mean, who's the originator of technology? I mean, Edison.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Leonardo da Vinci.
Leonardo da Vinci.
yeah. But no, the guys in Silicon Valley,
That wasn't the first place where it was all developed people.
no, I guess it was in New Jersey, but
How about Boston?
yeah,
MIT?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where, and there's some interesting stories, drunken stories about what those geniuses did. So they knew how to party. Okay.
Yeah.
Look up the term called a smoot, and it's one of the most amazing stories of drunkenness. But a lot of modern computing started as something so related to another club and organization that you scratch your heads. It's like, really? That's where this all came from? And it's like, go figure.
Yeah.
It just, but when you look at the connections that were made, people took it and did what they wanted. I think the HP guys at that point, I think they were, how do I say it? They were like the Ronan Martin of technology. They were too old to be having all that fun.
Well, when
they
you
were the guys
when you
who
go
were
back,
older.
you go back to Shockley and his company.
Yeah.
And who was the guy at Shockley who became really pretty much the biggest guy in Silicon Valley? I mean, he was the father of he helped start Fairchild or got Fairchild.
Wozniak got pretty big.
No, it wasn't Wozniak.
No,
No,
I'm trying to remember the guy's name.
shit. Oh God.
I've seen 2 documentaries on him in just the last 6 months. And all these people who worked for Shockley, who was a real motherfucker, and he got the Nobel Prize for science for coming up with basically what this it was the transistor. Yeah, it was the transistor, and the reason he got it was because there were 2 other guys working on it, and there was one little part they couldn't figure out, and he said, "Why don't you do this?" And then he got in on the deal and got the Nobel Prize. But he started a company, and then he got the biggest brain trust he could find to come there and start building stuff. And they came out with the semiconductor and, got it smaller, and, the transistor became a thing of the past. They all left Shockley and went to work for Fairchild and became Fairchild Semiconductor. These were all the early guys, and if you ever see pictures of them, they're all wearing suits. They're wearing suits to work. If you go to that next generation, if you go to the Jobses and the Wozniaks and the so on, they're wearing the turtleneck sweaters, shirts, They're wearing the jeans to work because I think they began to realize that if you're going to do this kind of brain crunching, you need to have as compatible an atmosphere to your way of life as possible. Does that make sense? Well, I mean, I'm sure that makes sense, right, Miranda?
I'm sorry, Jimmy the Cricket is about to get killed. I don't think that you guys can hear this, but there's a cricket in my apartment driving me nuts, and it's
What?
the only thing I can focus on right now.
I think I heard it once.
If I turn up the gain on my microphone, you
Let's
guys will
hear- see if
probably
we-
Don't
be
say
able.
anything, and
Let's see if we can hear the cricket. Son
wow.
of a bitch.
oh my
Wow.
God,
Wow.
I'd be going ballistic.
Hey, that's the cricket that was heard halfway around the world.
That's right. I heard it.
Yeah,
It's in your apartment somewhere?
I think it's in my kitchen.
But
It's
this,
like right
you know,
behind me.
But aren't
But
the,
this
Attack of the
cricket
killer
doesn't
crickets.
know. This cricket doesn't know any better.
Which
Put a
is
little
why
bit-
I don't want
Miranda,
to
put a
kill
little
it.
bit
But
of
Yeah.
Miranda, put a little bit of lettuce on a plate.
I eat out every night. I don't have food in my
he
apartment.
doesn't have lettuce.
Take out a shoe and smash it.
I don't want to kill it.
Typical.
Well, no,
Republican
the whole
response.
idea
Kill it.
Then you
It won't kill it. It'll send it to cricket heaven with 72 virgins.
You smear that bitch right across the floor. I do spiders. Actually blends right with the
Spiders.
fucking tile.
Spiders are good.
Republicans coming out on his side.
It'll teach other
Yeah.
crickets not to do that.
Hey, if there's a bug in
That's an
my
example.
it dies that way. It blends into whatever surface it's on.
Can
If
they
it,
multiply?
it blends into the paint, fits on the floor, it blends into the floor. It doesn't matter.
Well, now,
Good on bread, too.
as long as we're on vermin patrol here, my lovely wife, who is in China listening to that cricket,
Yeah, she's got real bugs over there.
Yeah, but they also have crickets as pets in China.
Yeah, they
You
do.
know,
I thought they were
They
highly
also
regarded.
eat them.
No,
They
but,
also
yeah.
eat
no,
them.
but we went into this restaurant, the noodle shop, in the old town in Beijing.
They serve
And
crickets
what did
in
they
there?
have at the front door in cages? These huge crickets making huge cricket noises. She's going now into the
And they
kitchen.
had
Gonna
them
kill
as
her.
pets.
For those who
They
are
had
watching
them
this
as
on
pets, and I
TV,
think they lived up until about 10 years, remember?
yeah, but those who are watching this on live stream are now seeing Miranda got up and went into her kitchen, turned on the light. She's
Now what's she got in there? She got a big stack of stuff on her kitchen counter. I don't know what
I-
is those cups.
I
or
asked her about that
boxes?
last night. Those are
Halfway.
those are,
Oh,
those
oh, her little toys from her little collection.
yeah.
Her little dolls.
Oh, I collect those. I have some of those.
Do you collect those yourself?
Hold on, I think I have Batman over here.
Really? Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
you think you have Batman? No, what? Have Batman?
Because she showed me one of them last night, and I thought it was like a South Park character.
Oh, that was a stuffed animal.
Y- y- y-
that he
no,
shows?
they're not stuffed animals. What are they exactly,
vinyls.
Miranda?
They're made out of vinyl.
Yeah.
The Tony showed us a stuffed animal.
They're little characters.
They're not Beanie Babies.
This is a
Oh.
Funko Pop Vinyl Star-Lord bobblehead. So Star-Lord
talk?
from Guardians. No, it's just a little vinyl figure, and it's from Guardians of the Galaxy.
And
So this is Peter Quill with
can you-
his Star-Lord.
Can you take the
gear
mask
on.
off?
Doesn't look like it.
Oh, okay. Well, look at what Tony has. This is for all the people
Nice.
watching this on the internet. You're getting a little show tonight.
Hey,
That's
I have a
Batman.
geeky question for the other. It was just the other day. I finally saw the Avengers. I was just sitting around. It was on Netflix. I decided to watch it. I liked it. I mean, but anyway, at the very end, there's a section of space something. Does that connect to the Guardians of the Galaxy that just came out?
Yes.
Is that a connection, or so they're all together? So the whole Marvel universe.
The whole
is-
Marvel universe, it comes together, and you know where it actually comes together in a lot of ways? On Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like
I missed that.
all of it. That's like almost like the nexus of the whole Marvel universe. They're all connected, and it's a brilliant ploy on the part of Marvel, because it's like
Yeah, but the thing that kind of gets me is that different company owns Spider-Man, and I know in the comics that Spider-Man hung out with the Avengers, right? So they should straighten that out and get Spider-Man.
No, they can't. They can't,
I-
because here's what happened. When Marvel decided they were going to make movies, they gave the rights of Spider-Man to Sony. Okay? And so all those movies come out via Sony Pictures, Columbia, whatever. And the when they wanted to make their own movies that weren't those, they couldn't bring Spider-Man with them.
Yeah.
So they started their own company, and they took some of their lesser numbers, like Iron Man, like Hulk, and this really lesser known thing, the Guardians of the Galaxy, which looks like it's going to be their biggest franchise of all. And those are now theirs. If you look at it, it says Marvel Films or Marvel Studios.
Okay, yeah.
Whereas the stuff like Spider-Man, and there's one other I'm trying to remember, that they don't actually, they have the right.
Fantastic Four.
They don't
They
have.
get-
They don't have the X-Men.
They don't have the X-Men, yeah. So you're not going to see any of those show up in the Avengers or Guardians of the Galaxy, or
Well, maybe eventually they could buy all that shit
Yeah.
up. One of
Now
these days.
look at this, folks. If you're watching this on TV, there is Miranda, and she's got a shoe
Oh.
And she's
See, look what you've done, Patrick.
Go, girl.
Oh, she's taking her on.
She's going to kill it. All because of you, Patrick.
That's
Miranda,
right.
use a magazine instead. Use a
I'm not
magazine.
going to kill
God.
it. I noticed
I
whenever
This killing.
What are you going to do
I'm
with the
not
shoe?
gonna kill it.
What are you going to do?
Whenever I walk by my stove, it shuts up. So I'm gonna put my shoes in front of it. I'm just waiting for it to start chirping again.
Oh, you think if you put your shoe there, it'll think you're there, and therefore it won't chirp?
I'm hoping. Up there it goes.
Or
Protein.
Yeah,
He doesn't have anything in a refrigerator.
Yeah, that's true, Miranda.
This is
I
the
remember-
this is
I
the
remember-
first. This is the
You
first
should eat
time. Hold on a second. This is the first time this video on Friday night has really paid off because there's a real drama going on. Can you see this in
I
China?
would be in support of, if she ate it, I would be in support of her killing it because then it would be.
Can you see everybody else's video, girlfriend?
I can't see anybody.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. That's
Well,
too
we
bad.
can't see you, so it's all mutual.
Yeah, I wish we could.
Yeah, I don't
see.
think when you're on the iPad or the iPhone that you get video
But
either way.
Alex and I did it before, and I saw him.
Yeah, but
One to
that.
one.
But, yeah, but it was 1-to-1. It wasn't group.
Yeah.
Alex, I stayed at a hotel room in Roxborough one time that was like infested with cricket.
You're
I
loop
didn't
backing.
sleep that night.
You're looping back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me just turn the sound down and bring it back up, and it should be gone. See?
All right.
This is what does it.
Kill it.
Anyway,
You think,
Kill it. Kill
I
it.
think that poor cricket might have died.
Kill it. Kill it. Kill it.
No,
Jump, jump.
no.
Look, I
Don't
got
kill
a
it.
rule. If it doesn't pay,
What happened?
ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
Yeah.
Patrick Blazik, better known as the Adolf Eichmann of crickets.
or the jihadist against insects.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll declare jihad on insects. I mean, if they're not paying to live here,
Even ladybugs. Ladybugs are cute.
you want
Yes,
500 of them in your place? I don't care what bug it is. If it's a bug, it dies. Period.
Nah,
Well, now, like Bobby
Well,
Slayton
that's
used
what
to say,
that,
Miranda.
you know who said that? Adolf Hitler said that about the Jews. What do you think of that, Patrick?
Wait a minute.
Hey,
I
Miranda, do you have in that doll collection, like Bobby Slayton used to say, a Klaus Barbie doll? That'll take care of the cricket.
No, but I did locate it. It was under my oven. And does anyone know a good way to shoo a cricket outside?
What you
Turn
do?
the oven
I
on.
know. I know.
If you
I know. Who said?
Spray bleach at it. That's what I do to insects.
Wait a minute. Well, what were you laughing at? Who said what?
I told her to turn the oven on.
Oh,
the best,
to get
the
rid of
best way to
cricket.
do it is some reason.
That's what Hitler said.
If you get a,
I told her to get a Klaus Barbie doll.
if you get a cup, put it on top of the cricket. Take like a sheet of paper or maybe a cardboard, slide it underneath the cup, take it outside. That's the best way.
Again,
here's
under
my
the
my
oven.
best idea.
I
You
have
gotta
moved
move-
it. I
You
can't
go, wait a
get in
minute,
there.
you go down to
Your
the
big is strong enough and move it.
you go down to the toy store.
I moved the oven, but I can't get into the cutout area. That's
Okay,
what I'm saying,
but
Doug.
here's my idea.
Yeah, bug spray.
You go and
I don't want to kill it.
nobody's listening to my idea. Nobody's listening to my idea. My idea
I want to
is
listen to your idea, Alex.
if
If everyone else will let you.
if you've got a toy store near you, go down there, buy a puppet, a string puppet, bring it in, and just act like it's Pinocchio and walk the cricket out the door.
I think this is
Brilliant.
California.
Oh, that's
You're going to have to
great
evict
idea.
the cricket, get an attorney, and see if you can get the marshals in there to get it out. You know?
Miranda,
It's a lot
you have the
easier
right
just to fly
favor.
Patrick out here and let him take care of it, as long as I'm not the one. who
Yeah,
kills it.
Patrick. Why didn't you? Why?
Miranda, look at it this way. What's the lifespan of a cricket? With days?
No.
China, 10 years.
Obviously, yeah, 10 years. In China, we saw crickets that
That's
were
a
10
China-
years
unless-
old.
That's a Chinese cricket.
Unless
I'm
you're
talking
going
about
to eat
American
it.
cricket.
Unless you're going to eat it. In China,
American
they also.
cricket.
Hey,
Hey,
if they
let
live,
girlfriend speak.
Yeah, well, in China they also eat them. In fact, tomorrow night you're going to have
That's right.
tomorrow night you're going to have cricket, aren't you?
So you can eat your pet. You can have it as a pet one night and then eat it the next night.
Chocolate covered.
but you-
Exactly.
They are very nutritious. Like I said,
It's all
I'd be
protein.
supportive of you killing it if you ate it.
It's all
Miranda.
protein. Yep.
Yeah.
Use your lifesaver, Miranda. You have your lifesaver.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. Let me just turn the sound down a second. There, I had to stop the slap back. Still there. It's weird tonight. I bet it's. Put yourself on mute, Doug.
My cell phone.
Yeah, put yourself on mute.
Mute.
Is he gone? Is it gone? No.
Nope.
I don't know where it's coming from. I have no idea when we get this slap back, and then it disappears. Now it's back even worse. Let me see here. Now? Somebody somewhere has got something on. Yes, Tony. Yeah.
I Googled how to catch a cricket in the house without killing it, and Wiki says if you put on the floor in a bowl or some kind of container, brown sugar or breadcrumbs, they like that. You sprinkle it on the ground on like a paper. That might draw them out. And then I guess you just put a glass over them.
Or you put a cricket of the opposite sex in there. And,
Why don't you just step on it?
Right.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to save them.
Kill it. I'm with Marjorie. Marjorie, you and I think alike on a lot of stuff anyway.
I want you
got
to.
that right.
I want you to know. By the way, we're getting.
Might bring some roaches and some rats out too.
I want you to know we're getting very high numbers right now on the video portion of
sure,
our
yeah.
show on
This is
live
most
stream because they're
most
looking
exciting
and
as it
waiting
gets.
for Miranda to kill a cricket. And of
That's because Tony's on.
course the Eichmann of crickets, Patrick.
Well, you know what? As long as I've got Marjorie's backing, I feel very comfortable with it.
All right.
Good. You got
Now
my
here
back.
here we had a mouse or mice, couple of mice
Mouses,
in this apartment.
mices.
And it's not unusual in an apartment like this for some mice to show up. Somebody moves out downstairs, they do some construction, the mice come somewhere else. And so we had how many mice did we figure there were? Maybe 2, 3?
Oh, half a dozen. And I put glue traps around.
Well, that's what she did. She did the glue trap thing.
Killed them.
Do you know how disgusting that is? And do you know how
Blue traps
inhumane?
is a miserable, horrible death.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
And what I did was I folded the glue traps and then put it in the garbage while they were still alive.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yes, that's what she did. You should see the look on Miranda's face right now.
It's
Alex,
not
when you
related to that.
Oh.
I figured out how to do this. I
How-
just need to get
Okay.
a bearded dragon.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
They have to go to Chinatown.
Yeah, but then you have to go get something to get rid of the bearded dragon.
No,
It's
they
like a-
eat insects. I can turn them loose on anything that comes into my apartment, and then it's part of the circle of life, and everything's good.
So this is the new pet
Step on
idea
it.
you have for a pet?
One of my exes had a bearded dragon, and
Yeah.
I remember feeding it crickets.
Really?
So, and they'll eat just about any insect.
But what
so.
she did is she took these poor mice that were stuck to the glue traps, doubled over the glue traps, so now they were really glued in, and then throws them in the garbage.
And they were alive.
Now what you should do? No, here's what you should do. If they get in the trap, you should then put them in water and drown them. That would be the humane thing to do.
Alive.
Throw them out the window.
It was horrible what you did to those. These are mice. These
Did you at
weren't
least
rats.
throw some cheese in there?
They didn't even have a last meal.
Well, yeah, mice are our kinfolk. They're fellow mammals, and they are
Yeah.
Hey,
better.
They're kinfolks to rats.
No, they're not kinfolks
Yes,
to
they
rats.
are.
Rats are an entirely
I'm talking
different
about
kind
mice,
of
no,
species
I had like this
almost.
fucked up family lived like several houses down from me. And they
Huh?
had like these like 2 dysfunctional daughters, and they like some reason bought like these
How
pet
is this going to
dogs,
wind up
like-
being about rats? I have no idea. Go ahead, Doug. I want to follow this logic.
Let me finish. And it was like all of a sudden they had like this fascination with these like little mice. And anyway, I like walk over there and there's like this bucket and I'm like, there they go, come look at this. And I look over it. It's like all these mice, like, they're like in water and they're like on each other's back. I go, what the hell y'all doing? They're doing a Congo dance. I'm like, oh my God.
Wait, what's going on? So you're hanging out with these two dysfunctional daughters or something?
No. I was like walking.
What are you up to, Doug?
No. I walked my dog. I was chastised their damn parents. It's like, man, what the hell are you doing? You got like future serial killers here? So it's just, it's fucked up.
You ask the parents, you go, oh, by the way, are your daughters future serial killers? Yeah, that's a real nice way to break the ice there, Doug.
Well, that's how,
I knew them. I could care less. I knew that. Oh, listen, believe me, those parents, I could care less. I did.
Now I'm beginning to worry a little bit.
Not, I don't care, but I did.
Okay.
It was all
right. Yeah, you made your point.
Now I have another mouse story. We get mice here in this old building quite a bit in the wintertime, and I actually have a picture of this on my Facebook page. I get the black snap traps that are really not that good because it doesn't really kill them all the way, and just kind of makes them suffer, just like, And there was one time that I caught 2 mice in the same trap, and it's like I took a picture of it. It's like togetherness. They died together in the same trap. Yeah.
Well, here's the best way to get rid of mice is you catch them in a trap, and then you put them in a room with Doug, and they die of boredom.
Man, that's a slow death right there. But anyway.
No, the agony.
That's whipping, boy.
I would have thought Patrick was more humane.
I was looking.
They're not humans, first of all.
One day, I was working here in New York. I was doing Midnight Blue, and we had this office on 14th Street, and it was late at night, and I was lying on the couch in the office with my yellow canary pad because that always made me feel like I was going to come up with an idea. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I look across the room, and I got to tell you, I saw the largest cockroach I've ever seen in my life. And he is slowly ambling over towards the couch. And I have this magazine that was on the couch with me, so I rolled it up, right? And as the roach approaches me, it's almost like he looked up at me and went, "Do you know how old and tired I am?" And I just said, "Go ahead." And he went under the couch, and I never saw him again. I just couldn't.
That's disgusting.
See, I knew.
You're a good man, Alex. You're a good man.
Yeah.
You should have stepped on him, Alex. You should have stepped on him.
He was huge. I couldn't. A roach that has lived that long deserves to live as long. It's like Joan Rivers. She deserved to live longer, you know?
Fuck, it would have been dead.
Who was the publisher of Screw Magazine that had Midnight Blue? Al Goldstein.
Al Goldstein.
Was that Roach Al Goldstein?
Oh.
You were stretching on that one.
Oh, boy.
Well, you were in his offices.
Yeah, no.
It was the biggest thing you've ever seen.
And he didn't create Midnight Blue.
He's working his way towards Doug territory.
Yeah.
He didn't create Midnight Blue.
Hey, talk about.
I thought he was the.
He just paid the bills. That's all.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Hey, listen, talk about cockroaches. I did call in Andrew Wilco today. I thought it was pretty funny.
Why did you call in Andrew Wilco?
Just to bust his balls.
The way I look at it, better him than me. But
I was like, I called up and it was like pretty much I gave him like this bullshit subject I wanted to talk about, but it's just pretty much I wanted to give like this little passive aggressive dig at him, and so he's like, Doug from North Carolina. And I was like, hey, listen, nice talking to you, Andrew. I talked to you before and all that. I said, but when I first saw your picture on Facebook, I said you reminded me of this. And I'm not trying to insult you or anything, but it's just, you remind me of Niedermeyer from Animal House. I could just see with that damn chrome army
What do you
helmet on
do
your
all
head.
day? Don't you ever call on customers?
That's why I was in the car. I was in between customers there. Anyway, so, and he didn't really particularly care.
Why do you call talk show hosts? What a waste of time that is.
No,
Yeah.
I'm serious.
calling in your program, you're going to say that's a waste of time?
Absolutely.
This
For
is
us.
after hours.
No.
For us.
I enjoyed. I learned from you. I learned from Patrick, and especially for Phil. Phil, I appreciate the camera tips and all that. Mark throws them in whenever you want to, but anyway,
Okay.
carry on.
Hey, can we go? Can we go on? Are we allowed to?
You have my permission.
Do I have your permission? Very good.
Thankfully.
It was funny, but I actually had a few things of a serious nature I was going to bring up tonight, and I've actually every night I've had something to bring up, and I never get around to it because we seem to like talking about minutia. We've been talking about roaches tonight and Legos, and is the cricket silent now?
Yeah, when I pulled the oven out and left the light on in the kitchen, it's no longer chirping because, well, hey, it's bright as hell. It thinks it's still daytime.
Well, wait a minute. Let me think about this.
When you pull the oven out.
Do crickets?
No, it's still running around. I saw it over there. It's good.
Yeah, but do crickets make noise only at night? And that could be the reason why it was chirping is because it was dark over there.
Sounds like that when the tree falls in the forest and no one's around. Does it make a sound?
No, they are nocturnal creatures. So, I honestly just need to wait for the thing to fall asleep. Leave the light on in the kitchen.
Sleep?
No, leave the light on. Leave the light on in the kitchen. Throughout
Here comes
the
a
night.
cricket killer.
Coming in.
No, that's my brother.
Oh, that's your brother. I thought.
Get the cricket.
No,
I thought it was some. I thought you lived by yourself, and I thought it was some kind of a murderer or something coming to kill you.
No, my brother borrowed my bike.
Oh, okay.
We lost somebody.
Have them join in.
We lost Tony. Didn't
I don't
we?
have a second microphone there, Doug. Sorry.
They can talk over your shoulder.
My microphone won't pick it up. The microphone I'm using is it's very, very directional. In fact, if I move over here, you probably can barely hear me now.
Right.
I can hear you a little bit.
Right.
A little bit, but there, it's got excellent isolation.
I want to get a microphone like yours. That's my latest thing. I've decided.
He has microphone envy.
Well, no, I feel I have the crappiest microphone of anybody now. Look at the microphone she has. Look at the one that Revelstoke Jim has, and look at the one that Rob has. Right?
Yeah.
And I've got this little dinky mobile here. It's only a $150 microphone. How much was yours, Miranda?
I bought it as part of a set from BSW. I think it came out to like $370 for the boom, the microphone.
Oh, the boom, the microphone, everything like that.
The shock mount, the pop filter, and even the XLR cable. The microphone alone is like a $330 microphone elsewhere, if I remember right. So it's a hell of a deal. It's only
good boom costs $100.
Yeah. I don't know where I would put the boom here.
They have them where they clip on the sides of desks and so forth.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah,
as well as you can drill into them.
Well, anyway, so I was looking here at the news. We have this virus that's going around now that kids are getting.
Ebola?
No, it's not Ebola. As a matter of fact, there is a name for it. It is called the enterovirus. In fact, it's the enterovirus D68.
What are the symptoms?
By the way, we're being joined by the other guy with a great microphone. No, I'm really going to sound like crap. Revelstoke Jim. Yes, with his big microphone.
Good thing you have a good voice.
Boy, it's gotten to the point now in my life where I have microphone envy.
Hi, Marjorie.
Hi, Jim.
How are you?
I'm good.
Listen
It's
to her.
almost
She,
lunchtime
why
here.
is it? Why is it you feel you have to shout from China? Because it's a long way.
I didn't realize
Because
I
you didn't
was
get her a
young.
good microphone either.
I have no microphone. I'm talking into this iPad.
Yeah, she's talking into the iPad, and she's listening to us in China. You know,
I
But-
want the new iPad Pro since we're all talking about what we want.
the iPod. You mean the 12-inch one?
No, the one that's not out yet,
Yeah, the 12-inch one.
the iPad Pro.
Yeah, it's a 12-inch.
I want that.
You
Well, for
probably
the
find-
holidays, now you
Yeah,
guys
sure.
know what you want. Alex wants a microphone. She wants an iPad. You'll be in heaven. You know?
Yeah. Well, those new ones, those are going to cost a pretty penny because they're doing them for business.
Well, I want it for business, so I don't have to drag around a computer and I can do work on it.
Yeah, well, let's wait and see. I would never do the first generation on anything that Apple does. Am I right, Miranda? Wait for the second
No, we
generation.
got the iPad and we got the iPhone first generation.
I know, and this, but yeah,
It
and then
usually is a good practice for to wait at least until the second or third production run
Not for Apple.
on a first generation device.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I have a very strong feeling that they've worked a lot of the kinks out. So when at least I don't know about the iPad Pro. It's not announced yet, so it doesn't exist in my world.
yeah,
But the watch, I'm probably getting the first generation one as soon as I can.
yeah,
Really?
really.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm not going to say I don't have any use for it because I said that about the iPad, and then when I tried it, I went, I got to have one of these, and it's become the most valuable single device I've ever owned, including the iPhone. And the only reason the
I still
iPhone,
use my iPhone.
well, the iPhone, in my case, the iPhone would probably be the number one device, except I don't have any friends, so nobody calls me, so really the iPad does everything I need. In fact, it does the only thing I need. I play solitaire. So anyway,
You got some life there, don't you?
huh? It's the main thing I do on my iPad.
At least he doesn't call talk
Well,
shows.
let me ask Miranda. Miranda, what's the main thing you do on your iPad?
Squirrel.
I don't have
I run shows on it.
You
I
run
don't have an
show.
iPad.
You run shows on it. Okay. What do you do with your iPad, Jim?
Usually have it handy when I'm watching movies.
Yeah.
I'm looking up people on IMDb and things like that.
Yeah, I use it for
I don't have
IMDb.
to.
Whenever I'm watching a movie, I automatically IMDb the movie. So if I ever need to say, who is that guy?
Yeah.
You know. So I use it for that. I use it for the solitaire. And let's see here. Who else has an iPad here?
I do.
Well, first let's go to Mark. Mark.
I do all my readings, and I also use it in work for logging shots.
Oh, okay. So you use it as okay. How about you, Marjorie, girlfriend?
I use it to read. I have all my books on here.
Yeah,
My email.
yeah.
Same way with Jim. I use it to get information on movies or television that I'm watching.
Yeah.
I buy tickets to the movies at the Comfy Seats Theater. I
Yeah.
get it right on my iPad.
Yeah, but you do that more on the iMac here.
Both.
Yeah. But do you and
Facebook. I do Facebook on it.
and of course Patrick, being the modern person that he is, I'm sure he has an iPad.
No. Totally useless.
Now, why do you say it's totally useless?
I've got 2 laptops and I've got an iPhone. What do I need an iPad for?
Killing crickets.
Killing crickets. They're very much heavier than an
That's
iPhone.
what I have wheelchair wheels for. I have bleach bottles, and I've got fly swatter.
If it was good for killing crickets, why is your cricket still alive?
Because I don't kill things. I'm not Republican.
See, she's not like Eichmann over there.
Yeah, you'll love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Marjorie,
What?
are you a Republican?
I'm a Democrat, but I love to kill crickets and roaches every day.
And mice.
And mice.
So, Miranda, your little statement there holds no water.
Hey, 100% of the Republicans on the panel are advocating for me to kill the cricket, whereas
wait a minute.
only one Democrat
Well,
is.
wait a minute, Phil. Were you saying we should kill the cricket?
Absolutely. Yeah, that cricket
I
would
like
have
how
been
he shakes
cricket
his head
soup.
no as he says absolutely.
I'm an independent. I'd say kill the cricket too. I mean, it's
Didn't
just
didn't
it
the
doesn't have
mov-
much of a lifespan. Just going to get rid of it. You got to sleep. So
Let
Okay,
the
but
cricket
leaving,
go.
Doesn't
hold
pay
on,
rent.
hold on, guys. Leaving the light on and the oven pulled out is working just fine. I can
Yeah,
wait
wait.
for this thing to go to sleep, reach down with the cup, slide a piece of paper on it, and then toss it outside into
See?
the.
See?
Don't
when it
sleep.
turns into like a 3-hour operation, though. I mean, come on. Yeah.
I don't care. I don't want to kill the fucking cricket.
Kill
So
the
when you
fuck-
throw your back out,
I don't kill things either, but you have to be kind of practical though. I mean,
Miranda, so when you
Is
throw
it
your back
hurting
out,
me? No. Why should I
when you-
end something's
Bravo,
life?
bravo.
Why?
when you
Bravo.
move that
Why?
stove back and you throw your back out, you'll wish you killed the cricket.
No,
I stand corrected. It's 11:38 over here. There's a time difference, so you got a little more time. I'm just looking at.
yeah, well, it's a time
fair.
difference where you are. It's 1956
Yeah.
down there.
The one thing, though, when you do step on a cricket, it goes crunch.
And then, okay, if I step on the cricket and it goes crunch, then I'm gonna have to get behind, the area, anyway, and actually, clean it up and sanitize it, and no, I'll just
the
let the
apartment
thing fall
manager.
And see,
asleep.
I like her answer to this. Wait a minute, hold on a second. I was talking to Jim. I think it was last night, wasn't it? Off the air
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
woodpeckers.
Woodpeckers.
That you had a woodpecker driving you nuts at your house yesterday.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
wasn't, the woodpecker wasn't just pecking the wood in the house. He was on the tin roof pecking away at the tin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Feed it to the
gosh.
bear.
And you didn't try to kill the woodpecker, did you?
No, I just tried to chase him away.
See?
Good for you.
My wife wanted to kill the woodpecker.
Oh, he's just a guy trying to get lucky. I just wanted him to go elsewhere.
Wow. Yeah.
I wouldn't kill Patrick.
Why not? If I was a pain in the ass, kill me.
Yeah. Oh, hey, by the way, girlfriend, you're on Wi-Fi, aren't you? Otherwise, this is costing us a fortune.
I'm on Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay, good.
Now, aren't you paying extra for the Skype credits?
Yeah,
How does that work?
we had to get her some Skype credit today.
How much did you put in?
I put it. You got about $20 in there, so you're fine.
Okay.
You know, it'll tell you how much you have left afterwards.
Are you ready for this, folks? When he went to put on the extra credit on my Skype account, he asked for my credit card.
Well, because it's your account.
It
I did
doesn't
it
matter.
my
You could
time.
have bought it for me.
Yeah,
Smart move. Smart move.
I could have, but it was $10.
I thought it was 20.
She's the one that's working. Alex isn't. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, I'll give Marjorie $20 if she phones me.
Is that the Queen?
Yeah, it's the Queen.
Why is the Queen on your Canadian money?
She's on all the money.
What,
She's the sovereign.
Canada's part of the Commonwealth.
is it?
Yeah, we have an independent nation, but we're still one of the Commonwealth countries.
So you're going to be like Scotland soon. You're like Scotland.
No, we did
They're
that
like
already.
Scotland. Yeah, Scotland will be like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
We just keep her around for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
I understand that the Scotland's going to have some issues, or England's going to have some issues if they go independent because of their border and if they join the EU.
It's going to be
Yeah,
Braveheart
I don't think
all
it'll
over
happen,
again,
but
I guess,
you're
right?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have to start work on Hadrian's Wall all over again.
Braveheart Part 2.
Why all of a sudden has Patrick put up a picture of Jack Nicholson from The Shining?
Carol.
Here's Johnny.
Red rum. Red rum.
Red rum.
I don't like people messing with their Skype photos.
Really?
Yeah.
You should talk.
We talk about Shining and Red Rum. It's kind of hard to believe.
No, we weren't.
It's not too
No,
far
we
away
weren't.
from-
No, we weren't talking about it.
You brought it up.
No, we weren't. No,
Yeah,
you know,
mentioning something and talking about it are two completely different
you
things.
hear a word,
said,
and all of a sudden you have something to
What's
say
the word?
about any
I'm sorry.
word we say.
Was that?
We say a word, and then you suddenly chime in thinking you have something to say about that particular word.
It's word association. His psychologist uses it all the time.
So let's throw words at Doug.
Thank you, Phil.
Doug, syphilis.
Thank God I never got.
It's like the Rorschach of Gabnet.
Frogs.
Yeah, frogs.
French.
Yeah. But you know, I was talking with Jim about the how you treat animals in the kind of environment he lives in, because I suddenly realized at first I envied him because he lived in Revelstoke. Then I found out that, you know, he came home one day and was told by his neighbor that there had been a bear there sitting on his back porch with using his garbage can as a lunch pail.
Bear wins.
You know, bear wins, yeah. And they've got grizzlies there, right? You got black bears. They're very dangerous. You got woodpeckers pecking all the time at your house.
We have bed bugs.
We don't have bed bugs.
There's an infestation in New York City.
Yeah, but not in our place.
That's
Well,
always
it's
the
coming
case.
soon to a place near you.
Yes, Alex, you brought him in.
No, actually, the bed bugs wound up in the subway.
Do you know what happened? I had lunch with Echo the other day. She said their entire office building was loaded with bed bugs.
Get a steamer. And
I always thought you needed a bed to have bed bugs.
No,
You just need a people where people are.
Yeah.
They're just.
Just bring back
like-
DDT and just get rid of them.
Bring what?
DDT.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard arguments about that and against it, but DDT, I think the reason why DDT works is it stays wherever it is for like years and years and years, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In
I
your
thought it was
bloodstream.
illegal.
I think that's
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah. But
Can have other effects.
but Jim lives in an area where they have to have respect for animals, and actually probably if you tried to kill a bear or you tried to kill a moose, you'd get arrested, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, unless you were hunting, if you had a moose tag, which is hard to get, and it was moose season, yeah. I mean, you can't just go. You just can't go kill things. I get
Do
like
you ever eat moose? Is moose meat good?
I've had moose. Yeah, I've had bear. It's okay. It's not anything great. Listen, I'm the kind of guy, when one of our squirrels gets killed by a vehicle, I go out on the road with the shovel, scoop them up, bring them back into the yard, dig a hole, put them in the ground.
I thought you said you
Have
cook
a
them.
funeral.
Yeah, I thought you said you were going to cook them.
No, I put them in the ground. I mean, we are like 3 squirrels short of a Stephen King novel in one corner of our.
You make little
Rural
tombstones for it?
cemetery.
What I
No,
I'll tell you,
I put them in. Sometimes I put them in little boxes.
you know what I
That's
what,
cool. That's cool.
You know what I thought, you know, is has been this big thing about, you know, anti-fur. Do not wear fur. Fur is bad to wear. Don't kill an animal for the fur. So I thought, you know, in your part of the world, how much roadkill is there on the roads? Probably a considerable amount.
Yeah. Usually it's a deer.
So why don't we start a company where we scoop up all these things that have been roadkill and then cut off the pelts and change them into coats and have roadkill fashion, which is then ecologically correct.
Not enough money in deerskin.
Well, the other thing was, hey, the lovely jacket, but why the scabs?
Yeah, but you get some possums, some raccoons, some fox, stray dog.
Where are their tire treads on your coat?
Yeah,
we're,
no, mostly
we're talking Canada. It's
Yeah,
beavers
mostly-
and moose.
I'm thinking about Meyer I pass every damn day.
Now, Jim, don't you get a lot of American hunters that get the permits to hunt the moose and the deer and not deer, but elk and bear?
But, I mean, they have to pay a hell of a lot of money. There's only a limited number of tags and things like that. But as for the roadkill, it's usually a deer, and it's usually a large truck, and there's usually not enough. You can make key fobs, for your things like that. There's usually not a lot of the deer left.
Like a rabbit's foot? Lucky rabbit's foot?
Yeah.
So the deer is
I
pretty much
think we should all
mutilated.
send up our dead roaches and our dead mice to Jim for burial.
No, thank you.
Send it to Popoff.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I can sing a bunch of squirrels every day.
Wonderful.
Send it to
Hey,
Papa.
listen, to kind of finish off this program, I want to just quickly go around the panel here and just ask you a silly little question. I'll ask Jim first because I know he's got to run, get ready to go do his show. What was your favorite toy when you were a child?
God.
Because everybody had something that, that they remembered as,
I think it was, thinking real quickly, it was my Secret Sam briefcase with all the with the hidden knife and the gun and would shoot bullets. I gotta look for Mark. What was that, Mark?
God.
Oh, smokes! That's wow. That's
Yeah.
real obscure.
And God bless
Yeah.
you, Jim. I forgot all about that. I used to
Yeah.
have one.
Anyway, how about I know you've got to go, Jim.
Yeah.
So let me
Okay,
excuse
bye-bye.
you.
I'm gonna listen.
At this point, because he has to go do his show. Mark, what was your favorite?
It was a Beanie and Cecil toy,
Ooh,
and I think they were puppets, but they were my favorite toys when I was a kid.
I love Beanie and Cecil. They were my favorites. Tony's not here right now, but I've told Tony, Kukla, Fran, and Ollie, forget them, man. Beanie and Cecil, not the animated characters, the puppet show that was done with Dawes Butler and Stan Freberg.
Yeah, but I grew up, it was the cartoons.
Yeah.
And the one thing I loved about, that's how I started, I think, my love of animation of Bob Clampett. Clampett, what a genius in merchandising, huh?
Right.
But that was my favorite toy, was I think the Beanie and Cecil puppets.
Now, of course, I saw Miranda run to the back room because I know what she brought out because she told me about it the other night in a private call we were having. You have it with you?
Yes.
This is your favorite toy when you were a kid.
Well, my favorite toys. I was always into stuffed animals. So
Yeah.
this is Bunny.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi,
And
Bunny.
here's Littlefoot.
Littlefoot. And both those go back to when you were a child.
1988.
And they're still on your bed every night.
Mhm.
Look how happy she looks when she's
Yeah.
with them. It's like whenever the world goes bad, you go grab them, don't you? And they
Yes, I
make
do.
they make you feel
make
better.
everything better, right?
Yeah. How
Yep.
about you? We got to do this quickly. I'm running out of time. Dan.
Well, there was this toy, and I don't know if anybody remembers it. It was called Big Track. It was like a programmable tank, and you could like punch numbers and program it, and it was kind of like it would go where you want it to go. Of course, we never figured it out right. It always ran into balls,
Okay. We're running out of
Yeah,
time. So,
okay.
Doug.
It was a chainsaw. That's the only one I ever had was a chainsaw.
Chainsaw.
Stuff around and all
Actual
that.
chainsaw.
Okay. It's,
I killed my parents with it.
yeah. Girlfriend.
I remember, was it Winky Dink where you put that plastic thing on top of your TV and You drew on it?
And low be the parent who did not buy their kids the thing to put on the TV set because all of a
That's
sudden
right,
they
kids
come
are
home.
drawing all over the
crayon
furniture.
marks all over their TV set.
Screens.
How about you? How about you, Patrick?
A German Luger cap gun.
There we go.
Boy, you know, we suddenly realize how formative these toys are to the people on this panel.
Yeah.
I can hardly wait to hear what I can hardly wait
has.
to hear what Phil Myers' favorite. Phil Myers' favorite toy was.
I think I had two. One was a Mr. Machine and the robot, and the other was a Sandy Andy, which was a thing you put sand in it, you cranked it, and it filled up the dump truck.
Oh my!
Okay. Yeah.
What exciting toy.
Well, and then you charge the Democrats to dump sand.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, thanks, everybody. It's been a lot of fun tonight. Thanks for being with us.
All righty.
And
Good night.
stay tuned for our good friend, Revel Stoke Jim. He's next over most of these same stations. Yeah, say goodbye to your whoopies there, Miranda. Thank you, girlfriend, for calling us from China,
My pleasure.
Shanghai, and say Shanghai to everybody. I'm Alex Bennett. We'll see you again on Monday. In the meantime, if you see her, well, if we saw her, tell her I love her, okay? Thanks, everybody. That was wonderful. I thought it worked out. Huh?
That was a lot of fun.
I love you
Yeah.
with your toys.
It's always fun.
And I'll talk to you later, girlfriend.
Love you.
I love you too. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Adios.
Okay.